Here we go. Ready? Oh, who's better than me? Yeah. Here go the Black Widows. After I go to the bandsaw, I came back to my bench. Oh, hey. 3-time Super Bowl champs, everybody. Mini camp. Oh, yeah. Randy Moss this year. We're going to be 4-time Super Bowl champs by the end of this year. Well, January next year, whatever, February. But back to the task at hand. All right. You see what I did? I just put a couple clamps down on the 2 boards. Right? And all I got to do is come along with my chisel, okay? And this pine's wicked, wicked soft. So this is it. I come cruising down right at the line because, you know, this is that box, and I don't, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to come back to the second one on the bottom. Okay? Well, you get the idea. And then after I do this one, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the other side and clean them up. You see what I did, basically? I just cleaned it up. Now I'm going to flip the boards over and take the other side out. So that's what I got to do. I'm going to flip the board over, chop the other side, spin them around, and clean up the other half of the dovetails. And by that time, the boards on the bench clamped up and glued up. They should be dry enough for me to cut, fit, and then transfer the pins onto the tails. Alright? That's it, baby. Super Bowl champs. Alrighty. Well, I got all the pins cut, okay? And I cleaned them up. Didn't take that long at all. And I made my bottoms. You know, I took them out of the clamps. I cleaned them up. I cut them to size. I made my mark from the marking gauge. Somebody just drove by on a double bike with the same friggin' riding outfits on. I should have. That would have been funny to see. But anyways, alright, let me start over, Dave. Sorry, I got distracted by a really long bike with a couple of people dressed in the same bright colored clothing. With helmets and everything. Alright, take 2. As you can see, I have all the pins cut on both boards. I have the bottom and the top cut, fit, cleaned up, and I have the marking gauge line cut on it. Now, the next thing I want to do, okay, is that you can see how I have a clamp on the sideboard, and I have the bottom piece right there. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see these pins. Okay, you can see that the pin is on the marking gauge line the whole way down. You know, if your board's not straight, you can clamp a straight edge to it, or you can clamp it down pretty tight and just tap it over with your mallet, you know, or your chisel or whatever. So once I get it to this stage, all I want to do is take my extremely sharp pencil, and I just want to come in here ever so slightly, okay, and I want to make a mark on all these pins, okay. So I come along, I'm going to mark the pins. And it's so much easier to do these ones as opposed to half line dovetails, because you know you have to reach in those ones. Nice. That was a good one. My girlfriend says I shouldn't burp on the podcast, but they're kind of funny. Alright, so then, you know, obviously you take the clamp off. You see how I have it marked? Number 2 and number 2, so I don't get confused inside the box. So, you can see that I have all the marks. You see them all right here? These are the pins. Okay? So I put it in here, like so. Now I gotta take my square, and I'm just gonna square these lines over. Now these lines are important, okay? Not so much on this box, because it's a really rough box. And you know, it's kind of a nice tip to put your pencil on the line and then bring your square over to the pencil instead of the other way around. So you put your pencil on the mark and just drag it over, okay? I have laser beam like eyes, so I can just do it with my eyes. You see? I just transferred all those lines on there. And then it's just a matter of cutting them, you know? And like I told you, the only way to get good at these friggin' cuts is to practice. And to keep doing it. And then after a while, I'm telling you, man, you get pretty good at it. I mean, think about it. They had 8-year-olds doing this, so how tough could it be, honestly? And just use your blue blade like a file. You don't have to ram it in there and try to cut really hard, you know? You just kind of gingerly do it, you know? This one's starting to get dull. I need to sharpen it again. Not much pressure, see? See that? See how I left too much of the line on this side? That's perfect, really. So that's what I should do every single time. So you kind of just go along and cut it. And then after this, you just have to chop this out with a chisel and then fit them. That's pretty much it. All you want to do is go along, cut them as best you can, as close to the line as you can, without taking the line off. And then just take it out with a chisel. And then you should be able to fit these dovetails pretty easy. So instead of having to watch a half hour of me just cutting these dovetails, I'm just going to cut them, and then when I get ready to fit the box, you know, the pins to the tails, I'll turn the camera back on. So it's really friggin' hot in here. I'm going to turn the air conditioner back on, listen to some tunes, smoke my cigar, drink another cup of coffee. Yeah, I was supposed to give it up today. There's my coffee. You see it over there? Just calling to me. Tommy, drink me. You see that picture right up there, guys? I'm going to zoom in on it because I'm going there in January. I'm going to take Rachel with me this time. That's Hawaii. That's Maui. Maui Wowie. Yep. What do you think? Here's all my junk. Oh, there's my favorite girl. That's Madam X. She is super hot. That's one of my favorite paintings in the world. There's the big dig. You know, if I didn't break my shoulder, they wouldn't have had those problems. Hey, look at my little nephew's head. He gets pissed every time he sees it. Spy Museum, POWs, the Marine Corps. Don't forget the missing guys. They're my eyeballs. There's Rachel's favorite painting. Freaking Dr. Evil! $1 billion. And there's my sister Grace. Yep, I have two pictures of my sister Grace in here. One there and one up next to my mom. Yep, my sister Grace was brutally murdered. Think about it all the time. There's me and my brother, my nephew. And there's all my junk. Everybody. Everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Red Sox Nation, baby. Oh, yeah. And here are all the, well, here's just a couple of T-Mac accolades. You know? I just put a few of them up there. All right. I just keep telling myself I'm number one. You know what I mean? Pretty soon I'm going to have a number two. Who does number two work for? Alright. Well, I saved you guys all the boring stuff about cutting out these pins. Well, the tails, actually. What I did, right, after I cut them with the saw, I just went over to my bandsaw and I just kind of zapped out most of the material. And I just chiseled it out. And this is what I love about pine to pine. Look at this. It just smushes right in there, you know? And this box doesn't need to really be very pretty. It just needs to work. I mean, you know, this box took me, you know, a few hours today, but it wasn't like it was that difficult. And it's kind of fun to do this when I know that it's not gonna, you know, the precision doesn't have to be there, you know? I get a kick out of making this stuff rough, and I'm curious to see curious to know what other people are going to think of it, you know? When it's in there. So, sweet, huh? Now look. You can see that the pins and the tails, they work, but they're not perfect. I mean, there's a little gap right here, you know, and that's kind of what I like about it. Same thing on this side, you know. You can tell that it was definitely handmade by a guy who wasn't overly concerned about how they look, you know. And that's what the original would have looked like. So this box, right, is it wants to slide inside this opening. So I'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, baby. I am good. And that thing's only dry fit, you know? This slides inside here, and then what it gets basically is a 2-inch pilaster over the front of this. And then I have to put another partition in here and here, you know? And then this is where the door's gonna open. But I guess that's for another day. You know, I just hacked around today on a Sunday, beat that box in, and I'm happy because you know what? Now I'm on my way into, you know, what's going to be the final phase of the pigeonhole assembly. He's getting this box done, and I hope to have it done, you know, by the end of the month. Like I said, you know, door, everything, spring, whatever. So that's how you dovetail a little box together, you know, and it was kind of fun. So don't be afraid to just use your tools and just let it be what it is. You know what I mean? So it's early. It's like 3 o'clock, 3:30 still on Sunday. So I'm going to go out and enjoy the rest of the day. Maybe take Rachel out for a ice cream or something. Although I shouldn't be eating ice cream because I'm trying to keep this Adonis-like figure in check for when I get my big break. Hopefully one of these days soon, because I'm going broke by the day building this Bombe secretary just for you guys.